Welcome to today's broadcast. Shout out to our sponsors. And now for our broadcast.
Well, good evening, basketball fans, and welcome. Well, let's see here. I got to see if I can get my camera up here. I forgot to put that up. My apologies. Let's see if we've got the right one up here and running. Yeah, kind of. I wanted to add in VCam, so I'll fix that here as soon as we get rolling here. Welcome again here to the Coaches Showcase. We wanted to make sure that we added in the opportunity here for trying to do some playing around here and see if I can get some things up and running quickly here. I had a chance to meet with talk to all of the basketball coaches in the area that we plan on covering, and we are planning on covering Randolph, Laconia, Mayville, Waupun, CWC, and Oakfield. And we are really looking forward to this upcoming basketball season. We had really good success. Thank you to all of our fans for the success that we had here during the fall season, and it allowed us to add another team here to the broadcast because we've had several sponsors as well that wanted to jump in, and a couple of new ones that have jumped in. So we really appreciate the fact that we are able to add another team in here and bring additional broadcasts here. Well, let's see if we can get things rolling right off the bat, and while we do that, I'll get things fixed. I think that we will start out here with Laconia and Coach Dylan Wirtz, first-year head coach over at Laconia. Flyway Conference, predicted to be the conference champs in the Flyway, and we'll start that out here. But before we do that, I want to also give a shout-out to the Flyway Focus and to Jordan King. Please make sure that you check out the Flyway Focus. Anything and everything for the Flyway Conference, Jordan King covers. And let's hear now from head coach Dylan Wirtz.
Welcome back here to the Boys Basketball Coaches Showcase. Joining me now on the showcase is the head coach for the Laconia Spartans, Dylan Wirtz. Coach, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate your coverage, Jeff, and been watching. Now I get to be a part of it and excited to be a Spartan.
I am excited about having you here as well. Obviously, I've got connections with you and the family as well coming back into this area. But let's talk a little bit about this transition. First-year head coach here for the Laconia Spartans. So tell me how that transition's been going, Coach.
Yeah, I would say probably a little different than most transitions where, a brand new face coming in because of the history, I guess, with the community for me, and went to school at least for a period of time in the Rosenvale Brandon School District. But it's really a coming home for me, and the communities. There's so many similarities, in them since the last time I was here, and just excited to be back. And I push a great program to a different level, and that's our goal here.
Talk to me about the Flyway Conference now. So again, you obviously competed in it a little bit here, but talk to me a little bit about the transition now as being the head coach for the Laconia Spartans.
Yeah, well, I think at least on the boys' side, there's been somewhat of a transition for the entire league. Obviously, there's some staples in coaching at Strings and Omro and Campbell Sport, but the idea is there's a lot of change, me included, with Lemira getting a new coach, WLA getting a new coach, North Fond du Lac getting a new coach, and Mayville in the last couple of years. So the idea is a lot of transition. It'll be, incumbent on us to watch and, learn as much as we can about the players. We did a little bit that this summer And you got to know a little bit about them, and have always followed this school and this area, and watch probably too much basketball. I've caught myself watching, games with all these teams through the last several years, and obviously players change, but have some familiarity, with playing styles and that type of thing. And obviously, we have some work yet to do there. And as the season starts, we'll dig in.
Talk to us a little bit about that playing style. So I shared with you a little bit off air that my only information that I know about basketball teams comes from WSN. The same thing happened with some of the other sports, and I was surprised at where some things have rankings wise. I don't know where necessarily they get all of their information, but it's better than what that I have. But one of the things they did talk about is that the challenge may be transitioning to your style of basketball. So just talk to me about what your style is and what you're bringing to Laconia.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter, the coach transition. There's always going to be a different system or terminology, or there's so many different things, ways to teach things, and ours is just different than has been done in the past. The idea is, I guess, for our type of play, the way we want to play, there's going to be a greater focus on defense, and we're going to rely on that end to generate stops in order to help us score. But it's done through discipline. It's done through technique. It's done through rules. And the defensive side of the floor it lends itself to that. You kind of know what the team's going to do if you watch enough film, and it's just about executing how to defend it. Obviously, there's good players that'll make you, do things that you don't necessarily want to do or have done in the past. And that's just basketball. It's high school basketball, and you got to adjust. But I think, it starts with the defensive end for us. And, I think we've got to be fantastic on that end to give ourselves a chance on night in, night out. And that's what great teams do. And then the offensive end, we're going to hopefully playing off of misses and turnovers or, stops. And then we let our skills kind of come alive and play with some freedom on that end, while also understanding, we worked pretty hard on defense to get the ball back. Let's not waste it. So it's a fine line, but, it's going to be disciplined defense with the ability, to show their skills on offense and put our players in the best position. A lot of them have been working at this game for 10, 15 years, and, they've set themselves up to be able to succeed on that end. And our job is to teach them how to do it on the other end as well.
So talk to me a little bit about that. Some of the players and what you've been seeing, obviously, with the open gyms and the transition to getting them to be prepared here for the upcoming season. Again, from WSN, I saw there was several players on this Laconia team that were highly touted. This team is supposedly the top team in the flyway, battling closely there with St. Mary Springs. I thought that what I recall seeing that you had some height as well. So just talk to me about some of the players or what you saw with your summer workouts and in the off season here as you get ready to transition to the start.
Yeah, no doubt. And, we're privileged to have players, like I said, they've been doing this for a long time, and the skills show it. I guess it's starting, with a few players returning all conference members. Cash Farrell, be a returning first team all conference player, and is a fantastic asset on both sides of the ball and works his tail off, plays with a high motor, and he is that. He's a two-way basketball player. He's enhanced his offensive game, but I think on the defensive end as well, and showed that this summer. And I think a kid that's primed, to take the next step, but obviously already working off a pretty good base with averaging about 18 points a game last year. So yeah, for sure, excited to have Cash, and returning all conference player Ethan Pino as well. And he's shoots it at a high level. I think he's got a college skill there, and somebody hopefully down the line after we're done here, allows that to come up. But either way, he's a good player on the offensive end who I think has taken steps on the defensive end as well. And like I go back to before, that's our job to teach him. And but good player, makes the right play, and we're excited to have him. And that's part of that letting skills show. Both of them are very solid. I do also want to mention what you talk about expectations. You talk about the pick to win the conference. We don't obviously get too caught up in that, but our job is to go do it. But it's not because of two guys. It's because we have a full roster of solid players and players that frankly have a lot of experience. And I guess just going off our senior class is where we'll lean on a lot this year. And you've got Carter Bondlander, who's like you said, a little size, athletic, had a great cross country season, in great shape, and plays his tail off, and rebounds the heck out of it, and drives it at a high level. So start going with him. And then Nick Blank, another guy returned from the starting lineup last year, and kind of a do-it-all player, great instincts, nose for the ball, clearly has played and been coached the game of basketball, and a guy that I think has the ability to put up big numbers on any night, and I think ability to defend at a high level too, given his athleticism. Going down, you got Rhett Garretts, who shoots it at a high level. He's in the way that we need size, he's going to provide some in that respect as well. Defends and has defended bigs, and I think provides us an asset there. And Sam Bart's a little along the same lines, athletic, drives it well, improving shooter, worked very hard at that in the last several months. And, I think that's going to show. And Cam Smith, another senior, and list goes on and on. Another guy who shoots it at a high level, and has great instincts, around the ball, and long arms, and it just makes plays, and it did that out on the football field, and now we're going to do it on the court. I think that's kind of where we're going to lean on is that group of guys. It's a long list, but frankly, being new and we've got to see these guys compete in practice, and we have others as well that will compete for playing time. And I think we have the privilege of having a deep program. Credit to the coaches before and those kids for working. But I think that's where I am privileged to be the coach here, because I step in with talented players, and obviously just got to get them to play our way.
Talk to me a little bit about your coaching staff that you've got here at Laconia.
Yeah. I guess a return of some members, and in that way, we've retained a couple guys from that have coached, in the past here, and adding a couple new faces, including me. But we've got a nice staff. My assistant will be my father, Lucky Wirtz, and a longtime head coach in the area, 30 years as a head coach, with stops at Laconia, Waupun, and then Kimberly. And, I was privileged to help him out when he was, on the program up in Kimberly there, and played for him at Kimberly and Waupun as well. But just privileged to be mentored by him, and I'll get the ability to coach alongside him at a place that holds a special place in his heart and mine. So excited to have him. And then, like I said, other familiar faces. Greg Schmidt has been a long time assistant with the boys basketball program as the head baseball coach, and played so many years ago for my dad at Laconia, and a wealth of knowledge, and, a great person who does everything he can for kids. And Nick Leonard another former player on the 97 state runner-up team there that coming back is, and, has worked with these kids in the past. And it brings, an energy and excitement to coaching. And then it goes Logan Sullivan, who's our JV2 coach, who was in that position last year, and excited to have him back. Alumni of the program. I always think it's important to have alumni around and giving back to the program that gave them. And then a new coach, Derek Buntrock, which joins us from Monroe and very detail oriented, and I think has done a fantastic job in just a couple of weeks here of just getting up to speed. And we're excited to attack, practice coming here, and I think we've got the assets to help these kids.
It definitely sounds like you've got a loaded coaching staff there. And from what I've seen, most of those guys probably could still pick up a ball and give your boys a challenge out there.
I know. We've been talking about it lately. When numbers break down in practice, injuries or something. But no, all, played the game, whether here or somewhere else. And obviously coached it now for a while. So, we're excited to have them all.
Talk to me a little bit about playing in the pit, playing talk about the school community and the student support and the community support that you have in Laconia. How you talked about how we had a chance to see it with volleyball and football. I just want your take on what you're seeing here from the school culture and the entire community.
Yeah, I guess the first thing it starts with, and I think it always should start with, is we're participating in education-based athletics, and I think the school, Laconia, does a great job of keeping education first. And I think that so it starts in the classroom. We don't get to see that, don't bother them, but they do that at a high level, just like everything else, and lends itself to obviously going out and succeeding in athletics, because it's a lot of the same, habits that you're building of hard work. So the school culture in that way, and I think is only going to benefit us and benefit the kids in their development. So, and then, the support, the fans, I'm excited to coach. I've been at games. I was a ball boy and a fan and all those types of things at games in the pit, but I've yet to play or a coach in one there. But what a great environment. And, that's due to people that have been coming to the games since, I was around, that keep coming, support at a high level, good, bad, or whatever, that they're there and supporting. And that's key, to keeping kids engaged and, interested in playing for something, because they're playing for the people out there. They're playing for their community. And I think the community does a great job of giving back and giving the players an opportunity to play for something that's meaningful in that way. So, and, there's obviously strong programs up and down this school that, basketball, boys basketball has been that at Laconia, but the strength of some of these other programs is where we're striving to get. And they've, whether it's girls basketball or softball, volleyball, this is baseball has had recent success, but it's we're shooting at that goal and to get back to where I guess we were maybe last time I was here, to be making trips to state and doing that. But that's going to take work, and we're committed to doing it on a day in, day out basis to give back to those people that support us.
Coach, I can hear the excitement. I can hear the nervousness about let's get on that court. Let's ready to get to it. Anything else that you'd like to add here on this showcase?
Yeah, no, it's been a long off season for me, just because of all the change and new for me. And I am excited to get there on the first day of practice, and just teach these kids and get back to doing what I enjoy, but mostly giving them something, to learn and get better at and strive for excellence. So yeah, I'm excited. Enough of the preseason open gyms. I love that you're doing these things, but we're just excited to get on that court on Monday and, just have a fantastic, hopeful first practice and keep the momentum going.
Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time and talking about your program. Welcome to the Flyway, and I know that great things are in store for you. You've done them every place that you've gone, from being a player to being a coach. So again, thank you for taking the time. I really am looking forward to some interviews that we're going to have coming up and having the opportunity to cover your team.
Fantastic. Yes, thanks, Jeff, for all this. Been watching, and a privilege to be on here with you, and appreciate all the coverage our kids can get, because it takes a village, and you're part of ours now. So it's we appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. This has been the head coach here for the Laconia Spartans, head coach Dylan Wirtz, on the boys basketball coach. We will be back here on Jeff's live stream after these messages.
Since 1981, family owned and operated, we provide beautiful flower baskets and fruit and vegetables to residents of South Central Wisconsin. We know the importance of having a variety of flowers, fruits, and vegetables available to our customers throughout the year. Discover the finest selection of locally grown produce, including sweet corn, tomatoes, and cucumbers, along with a variety of fresh fruits. At Hooksha's Market and Greenhouse, we believe in providing our customers with the freshest and highest quality produce. Come visit us and taste the difference.
Designed. Our seamless integration of friendly service and gorgeous natural surroundings is what will bring you back over and over. Bridges at the Rock is the perfect way to end your round. Join us for a relaxing atmosphere in a beautiful setting. Go online today and make a reservation. Better yet, swing out to the Bridges for a bite and a beverage. The Rock Golf Club, 700 County Park Road, Waupun, or call 920-324-2621.
I got to figure out which camera to look at here. Welcome back here to Jeff's live stream. Again, you could hear the enthusiasm and the excitement in head coach Dylan Wirtz, and he should be. He's got 6 seniors coming in here in his first year in this program, and wow, is he going to be a loaded program to try and come in his first year and actually follow the prediction as set up by WSN to be Flyway Conference champs. But you heard about how tough that Flyway is. We're going to stay in the Flyway, and then we're going to have a conversation with Mayville coach, head coach Brett Kermsey. We'll start that interview right now here on Jeff's live stream.
Welcome back here to the preseason coaches showcase here for boys basketball. Joining me now is the head coach for the Mayville Cardinals, Coach Brett Kermsey. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
I am excited about the basketball season to get rolling here. We've had a couple of weeks off here since volleyball has ended. Feel a little bit refreshed, but now it's time to get back at it. So let's talk a little bit about Mayville basketball. So tell me a little bit about your team.
Yeah, I would say, we're lucky in the department of we're going to have a lot more seniors this year. Specifically, Jordan Schlender, Austin Thorson, and Bennett Schellinger. Those 3 are going to start this year for us. They started pretty much all the games last year as juniors. So we get to return a lot of experience. We're excited about that. And I think over their career, they're going to combine for over like 75 starts altogether. So we're really excited about being able to return guys who've been in the system a little bit, who understand what we're trying to do and how we want to go forward for this year.
So talk to me a little bit more about that. I shared before that my knowledge of basketball really comes from WSN, and I don't know where they necessarily get all their information. Some stuff they get right, like a Waupun football, they really got wrong this year, expecting them to be dead last in their conference. But so tell me a little bit about. I noticed, I do believe that Joran was one who was mentioned as one of the top players in the Flyway Conference. Just talk to me a little bit more about where you're sitting at as far as the Flyway and just the Flyway Conference in general.
Yeah, I would say we have a very competitive conference. So when we talk about where we think we'll finish, it's probably not our vision's never going to probably be whatever the prediction is. We're always striving for more, but I would say it's a competitive conference. I think from the top all the way down, on any night, anyone can win. I think we saw that a lot last year with our group. We competed with the best teams, and then there'd be some nights where maybe we wish we would have had back. But ultimately, it's just about competition. So we just want to compete every night. And when it comes to Joran in particular, he's a great example of that. He just plays all the way to the end. Some of his biggest games, he didn't necessarily start hot to have a big game for us. He just kept working, kept working. And that stuff rubs off on his teammates, and they really get after it for a guy like that.
So as your second year as the head coach now, tell me what you're looking forward to. I'm sure that last year was a major scramble. So just talk about the difference here from your first year to your second year.
Yeah, I would say stability, right? I think being around these kids more, being around our families more is a good thing. We had a really good summer. We had a camp. We were doing summer league. We played in the WSN shootout as well at Beaver Dam. So we stayed really active. We kept the ball in a lot of our kids' hands. We had good numbers. So yeah, I would say like really just we're trying to build. We're trying to build off of that. We had a slow start to the year last year, and we found our stride at the end. I think we won 3 of our last 4. And taking that into the summer and having a good summer, and now, okay, it's almost time for the season. How can we continue that trend, that upward trend that we're on? So that's where we're going, and I'm excited about what that could be.
So talk to me a little bit about your coaching philosophy, or what you're trying to implement this year, offensively or defensively, or both. What's your focus this year?
Yeah, I would say last year we were a pretty heavy 3-point shooting team, statistically at least. And I think we'll definitely still shoot from the 3-point line, but I think our main emphasis is going to be transition. We want to score in transition. But the only real true way to do that is to really defend. And it's something that, at times we struggled with last year. And, I talked about having that senior leadership this year. When you're down a couple seniors in a class, like sometimes it's just hard to defend. And we're really excited about how this group, this class, like they're going to defend at a high level. And we think that's going to really help us score more in transition, play less in the half court, and try to just get out and run, play to our strengths as far as our athletes go.
Talk to me a little bit about your coaching staff now. I'm assuming that that's adding a little bit of stability as well.
Yeah, we returned Sawyer Breslow. He was our JV coach last year. Did a really nice job with what'll be now the junior class here coming up to varsity. So we're excited to see some of those guys kind of insert themselves into a role. We bring in Emmett Hertini. I might have said his name wrong, so I'm not a Mayville guy, so I apologize. But Emmett played at Mayville. He played at Concordia for a little bit as well. So we're excited about just that influence that he's going to have. Does a really good job. He works with the Blizzard as well, based out of Horicon. So we're really excited to have him to help kind of lead us going forward this year.
Talk to me also a little bit about the school culture and the community culture and the whole focus around how the program is just continuing to grow and develop, and the excitement that you have within the schools.
Yeah, I would say like when I took the job, our athletic director and also football coach Hilber, he really made it known to me, like, we don't want to just be known for one sport. We want to be successful and near the top in every single one. And that vision is really important. And I would say our families feel that same way. Like we don't want to be near the bottom. And so we hold ourselves to a really high standard. And the families have been super supportive. whenever there's a transition between coaches and styles and leadership, that could be a challenge. But I think we're all on the same page, and we've been in a really good spot. And the amount of encouragement they've had to get their kids to come out to do the camps, to do summer league, to do those things, goes a super long way. So I've been nothing but appreciative for what we've had this summer and the sport we're gonna, I'm sure, have during the season.
Yeah, talk about the kids. I mean, you just have to have some good, solid culture within the students as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a great community where we have the ability, you know, to get to every game. The flyway does a good job of kind of, if the girls are playing a game that night, we're practicing, so we have the opportunity to be there, vice versa. So, they do a really good job of that, and our gym's small, so it's loud. And even if there's not a huge crowd, it's loud. So, um, you know everybody's just doing a great job. So we're excited about the culture that we have and that we continue to build.
Anything else you'd like to add here on this showcase?
I would say the only thing I would really add is I talked a lot about our seniors. I did want to talk about one of our juniors, or I'll bring two of them up.
Yeah, talk about all your kids. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Talon Meyer, he'll return. He came up towards the end of the year last year with varsity. I think he's one of the better kept secrets this year in the flyway. We're not casting large expectations for anybody here, but I just think he's really poised for a big year. He'll start this season for his first time at the varsity level, and I really think he's going to grow into that role and be great. And then Emerson Middlestat as well. He started 2 games last year as a sophomore. He's got the name. I think around Mayville, everybody knows the name. But Emerson's his own player. Does a really good job of facilitating and kind of driving that tempo that we look for. So as much as we're really excited about our senior class, we got what I believe is we have really strong juniors to kind of help supplement that. And the only way you can win is if you have 2 classes back to back who really have that foundation. So I'm really excited to see those guys in particular grow. Braxton Weiss as well. He was a sophomore who played on varsity last year. He'll be a junior this year. I think he's got a role as well that's going to be physical and up tempo and playing to that style that we want. So we got some really strong juniors this year that got some minutes last year as sophomores, and I think that's going to really help hopefully propel us past our predicted ranking for this year.
Well, Coach, I can hear the excitement as you're getting ready to hit the practice floor and get ready to demonstrate that Mayville Cardinal basketball on the boys' side is on the rebuild and ready to challenge any school within the flyway.
Absolutely. We're excited. It's only like 2 sleeps away or 3 sleeps. So I'm excited to get there. We've been waiting for a while.
Well, thanks again for joining me here on the preseason coaches showcase for boys basketball. I really appreciate it. This has been the head coach for the Mayville Cardinals, Brett Kermsey. Good luck, coach, and go Cardinals.
Thanks, Jeff.
King Manufacturing. Since 1926, we have been known for our first-class buildings and canopies. Did you know we do all kinds of metalwork? We offer a variety of decor available for purchase from other businesses. Designs range from holiday decor to sports to hobbies. Finished items can be wall hangings, outdoor garden decor, coffee tables, and so much more. If you are looking for address plaques, property signage, or awards plaques, King can make them. These are highly customized and durable products with your own street number, name, or event. A variety of fonts are available, and we can add our automotive-grade paint in a custom color, suitable for indoor or outdoor uses. Pricing varies. Call Joe Barnes at King Manufacturing. From design to completion.
PT Tire and Service is a family-owned business that invests in you and your family. From one family to another, safe travels and seamless automotive maintenance makes every trip a great trip. PT Tire and Service serving Central Wisconsin with excellence for over 20 years. Call 920-346-TIRE for all your automotive needs. PT Tire and Service Brandon. No job too big or too small. PT Tire and Service in Brandon does it all. Call today 920-346-TIRE.
and vegetables to residents of south central Wisconsin. We know the importance of having a variety of flowers, fruits, and vegetables available to our customers throughout the year. Discover the finest selection of locally grown produce, including sweet corn, tomatoes, and cucumbers, along with a variety of fresh fruits. At Hooksha's Market and Greenhouse, we believe in providing our customers with the freshest and highest quality produce. Come visit us and taste the difference.
Welcome back here to the preseason coaches showcase. I apologize to my sponsors there. I'm going to try and fix that during the next set of interviews here. I had updated by adding some music to try and improve the ads before the basketball and hockey season really gets rolling here. And by doing so, I kind of messed it up in my playlist. So I'm going to see if I can fix that and adjust that so that all of the sponsors that are available here to help make this showcase possible and to make sure all of our broadcasts are possible is recognized for everything that they have done. I think up now we will bring in, let's go to Randolph in the Trailways West. And I want to thank Coach Tyler Fisher. We scrambled today. He was out getting some relaxing time before basketball starts. So Coach wasn't available. We missed each other in the emails, and then all of a sudden we sent the reminder email, and boom, here we are. But we were able to get it to work. So right now is the head coach for the Randolph Rockets, Tyler Fisher.
Showcase. Joining me now is the head coach for the boys Randolph Rockets, Coach Tyler Fisher. Coach, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Coach, I'm really excited about our opportunity here to get together and have a conversation. So let's talk a little bit about how things went here in the off season.
Sure. Yeah, we had a decent summer. The boys have their lifting schedules. A lot of my pretty much the entire team plays football as well, so they're in a lot of off-season workouts, which was a good turnout there. And then had a decent summer league schedule put together. So overall, pretty happy with some of the progress on the guys and the work that they put in, and a lot of guys asking to get in the gym and get some shots up. So that's always encouraging.
I know that one of the things that I've really noticed quite a bit over in Randolph, we've had the pleasure of coming over and covering quite a bit, is that there's a lot of emphasis on use of the weight room. So tell me how that has played into part of the off season.
Yeah, that's it's kind of one of the main points, for some kids, if they don't touch a basketball all summer long and they're in the weight room, for some kids, that's okay. That's what they need to focus on. So I think over the last 10 years, we've really seen it evolve into, high school sports in general, specifically the basketball, just how strength can be such an advantage. And like I mentioned with the great football program that we have in town, kind of goes hand in hand, and there's a lot of dedication there and a lot of things that they're doing in the weight room. So it's a culture and it's a dedication that, like I said, I'd say about 10 to 12 years ago, kids really bought in. And, previous to that, I think we'd see different classes come through that a lot of kids would lift, and then you get a few years where it wasn't a priority, and it was like pulling teeth to get kids in the weight room. So, lately here over the last 8 to 10 years, it's been very consistent. And, I think we see it in the results on the basketball court as well.
Talk to me a little bit about how the injury bug with maybe some football came in to start the season here. I know that a lot, like you said, there's a lot of crossover between the athletes, and I know that they played a really hard season and battled all the way through. Just tell me how is the health right now before the season starts of your team?
Yeah, overall pretty good. We did lose one player, unfortunately. Would have been a starter, so Cam Moose will not be participating this year. So he ended up tearing his ACL here in football earlier in the season. He sat out the rest of the football season, and come to find out that knee injury will affect him in the basketball season. So I hate it for him. Great kid, loved basketball. One of our better shooters in the program, and last year I think he might have led us in 3-point percentage last year. So that was definitely a big hit. But other than that, the guys are maybe a few bumps and bruises here, but they're recovering well.
Talk to me about how the kids are excited now that they've actually had some practices, been out on the court. Tell me about what you're looking at here as the season gets ready to start.
Yeah, I think, we got, 1 week under our belts here. So, I think they're getting into it. It's always kind of a different transition year to year from football into basketball. Some kids are still in football mode. Some kids are extremely excited to get the basketball season going. And I think this year we have a combination of both. They had a really good year in football. And I think lost a tough one in the playoffs there. So there's a little bit of a lag I could feel, and that's okay. And us coaches, we were all football players at one time, and all love that game as well. So it usually takes a week or so, maybe a week and a half, and get into the groove and get into the swing of practices and kind of get in the basketball shape, the basketball form, and that's where we're at right now. So with 1 week under our belts, we're still trying to get into shape, get into basketball shape, and I think the guys are adapting quite well.
Let's talk a little bit about the Trailways West Conference coming up here now. Everybody knows, and I share this all the time, I'm not a basketball person. I think I'm getting better at it. My information comes from WSN, and last year you guys finished tied for the conference. But tell me what you're projecting as far as the conference and how that might align kind of with WSN has a prediction that Partyville will be taking first, Fall River second, and Randolph third.
Sure. I think, the conference is really tough again. The last several years we've had some pretty good battles. As every team, it's a war going into each other's, in the opponent's gym, and night in, night out, it's a grind. So, the teams you mentioned there, they're obviously, they're going to be good. They're going to be tough. I think Partyville had it, kind of put themselves above everyone there last year, and we kind of got fortunate down the stretch, and we lost to them both times last year. So that was a very good team last year, and I think they got pretty much everybody back. So they're loaded. But you look around the conference, you mentioned, I think, Fall River, but every team in the conference can make their case for challenging for that conference championship. You have you look at Cambria Friesland, they bring a lot of kids back. You look at Marquezan, they got some first team all conference player back. So PGL had a great year last year, under second year coach now. So there's every team, like I said, can make their case, and we know we have our hands full no matter who we play, and we're going to have to be prepped for the challenge night in and night out.
Here's what I do know, Coach. I know the Randolph Rockets, this is one of the teams that I never would want to play, no matter what time of the season it happens to be, because they come to play and they battle hard, and you guys do a great job as the coaching staff to get the kids all fired up and ready to go. So any of the players that you think so far have been a standout, or just the team in general?
Overall, I think just team as a whole, we're trying to, every year is different, right, with a new group of kids. And last year we lost, several seniors that had started for us there 2 or 3 years in a row. So we got some holes to fill, and some younger kids coming in to step into those gaps. And I think, like I said, we're now a week into practice, and even with that off season, they're starting to take some shape and form on what this group looks like. And like I said, I think each kid settling into to what role they might play here this year. So so far it's looking all right. And like I said, I think we still have quite a bit of work to do here as we enter this new season.
Talk to me about your coaching staff.
Yeah, so we have 2 JV coaches, a JV1 and JV2. We've been on the same staff here since I don't know how many years it's been now, maybe 12, 13. But Josh Fisher, my brother, he does the JV1, and then Paul Roberts does the JV2. So they're also they help out with all the practices, although they're at the varsity practices as well, and obviously on the bench during the game. So been together since I've been the head coach, and have a good routine, and I really enjoy working with those two individuals, and they're very knowledgeable, and I feel like we're always on the same page, which is great. So I wouldn't ask for two other people. Wouldn't ask for anybody better than those two guys. So.
And you guys do work awesome together, again, from what I've been able to tell from the last couple of seasons, watching you guys on the bench. Talk to me a little bit about then how the school, the culture is, how things are all hyped up about the season ready to start, community support that you have, as well as the school support.
Sure. Yeah, I think, basketball has always been a big part of our town, and I think it's good and bad, right? You have a great community behind you, and you have a great school that puts a lot, behind their sports, not just basketball, and at the same time comes with it a lot of expectations. So I think from the bad part of it, right, is, there's pressure. There's pressure on those kids to perform, and I think at one point in time, it's like if you didn't. This was before my head coaching years, but if you didn't win a state championship, the season was a failure, So, I think, like I said, you wouldn't want it any other way, right? I think coming with that, and having a program that has the history, I guess I'm fortunate to be in the spot that we are, and at the same time, take advantage of that opportunity. And like I mentioned, just great support. You have the locals that come up for the games. And the kids enjoy it. So, it's always a good time of year to get the season going, and it feels like just like that we'll be in March here, because the season always seems to fly by for us. So, new season, new challenge, and looking forward to getting it rolling here.
Coach, anything else that you'd like to add here on this preseason showcase?
No, just should be a fun and exciting year. Like I said, the conference will be a good battle night in and night out, and I just appreciate your coverage and coverage of high school basketball. I think it's great. It's great for our kids and great for our school. So thanks for everything that you do.
Well, thank you again, Coach, for everything you do and for trying and making this interview happen. I really do appreciate it. This has been the head coach here for the Randolph Rockets boys basketball team, Coach Tyler Fisher. We'll be back after these messages here on Just Livestream.
Visit us at 806 West Main Street, Waupun, and experience quality, comfort, and service you can trust. Visit our website at www.com. We're on
Born from a single retail project, WDS Construction has evolved into a nationwide general contractor and construction management company. But we're so much more than that. Retail is changing, and it's changing fast. No matter where you are, what you do, or how you sell products to your customers, we are with you every step of the way to lay the groundwork for whatever lies ahead, building trust through results, and our commitment to provide a customer-driven experience without question. With 4 generations at the foundation of WDS, we've built a reliable client base and a passionate team to bring big-time experience, commitment, and satisfaction to your next project. Because we are built to build better.
Sam's Well Drilling is a family-owned business with over 75 years in the water well drilling industry. We can help you with all of your well drilling needs. Our crews are experienced at finding the proper location, setting up the rigs and equipment in all types of circumstances, and drilling to the appropriate depth so that you have fresh, clean water. Sam's also drills wells for commercial and municipal projects. No project is too large or small for Sam's Well Drilling. We at Sam's are thankful to be involved in supplying the well water needs of people all over Wisconsin. Sam's Well Drilling, well worth it. Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
Welcome back here to the players show, or sorry, the head coaches boys basketball showcase preseason. I wanted to do this live like we did the player showcase at the end of the fall season here, but things just got away from me, and I just lost track of time. And all of a sudden, girls basketball was upon us, and hockey, and I ran out of time. I'll do a better job of planning it for next season. But I think you heard from Coach Tyler Fisher. He specifically was talking about how right now I think that WSN has them underrated. I'm not taking anything away from Partyville. I know that they are a great, solid team, and I know the same thing is true for Fall River there in the Trailways West. But I don't know how you can possibly doubt the Randolph Rockets. No matter what, Coach Fisher puts a high-quality product out on the floor night in and night out, and they constantly battle. And the experience that staff has, along with the players and the expectations, they just perform every single time that we've had a chance to watch them. So let's see how things all shake out here in this preseason, or as the basketball season gets rolling here, and we'll see if WSN has got their predictions right. And I'm not criticizing them at all. The fact that they're able to put all this preseason stuff together absolutely amazes me 100%. Let's jump this time now. Let's run over to the Trailways East, and let's have an interview with the head coach for the Central Wisconsin Christian Crusaders, Josh Gibbons, for CWC.
Welcome back here to the preseason boys basketball coaches showcase. Joining me now on the show is the head coach for the Central Wisconsin Christian Crusaders, Josh Gibbons. Coach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Exciting time of year as we're getting ready to get things cranked up, get to see if all of this open gyms and the summer basketball and everything has paid off a little bit. So, Coach, talk to me a little bit about your team and how things have gone so far in the off season here as you prepare for this season.
It's been a good off season. We always go to a couple tournaments and leagues, just like everyone else does. And we've had a lot of guys, we were replacing quite a few guys from last year. So just a lot of guys working hard, stepping up, and still trying to figure out roles and whatnot. But that's all part of the excitement, and part of our job to see who fits where. And we'll figure that out pretty quick because, you have about 5 practices and then you start playing a game. So it's fun, you've been away for a long time, and it's nice to get everyone back together and start working towards a common goal.
In a small school, we know also that the athletes are spread very thin. They participate in a lot of different things. So a lot of them are just coming off of basically 2 weeks rest off of coming off of soccer and then having to try and shift now in to the basketball season. So what are you expected to see from your team as they get ready to hit the hard court?
A lot of guys that are out of shape. But we have a lot of guards this year. Hopefully we can play a little bit quicker this year. Should be different from the past. And it's just, again, kids are gonna find out where they fit in and what their jobs are gonna be, and it'll be a fun process. I think it's gonna take us a little bit to get there, but I think if this group can find a way to put it together, we should win some games.
A lot of scrappy players, if I recall from watching after last year. but not really the height like you kind of talked about. So will that kind of change your offensive mindset?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at running a little bit different offense, going to tweak it a little bit this year to get us some more movement and kind of play to their strength. We're a bunch of guards. We can shoot it. A lot of guys can shoot it, and have to find a nice balance of inside out. And yeah, so we'll tweak it a little bit just to fit their style.
You also have usually a really tough defensive squad, so I'm expecting that you'll see that. And what will be your base defense that you'll be working this year?
We're actually going to switch up our defense, our what we do. Want to put a little even more focus on defense. We have to learn how to get some stops, and that's a big thing. You want to win some big games, some close games, especially late in the season. You got to be able to get stops. So we're putting a renewed focus on our defense and our system that we're going to use, and we'll see how it takes with the guys.
Again, as I mentioned to you off air, I haven't seen a lot of yet about Trailways East. So talk to me a little bit about what's happening in the Trailways East and what you're thinking is going to happen for this season.
The East is going to be competitive again. Oakfield looks to be, probably the cream of the crop for us this year. They have a really nice team, and everyone's going to try to find a way to hang with them, maybe tip them one night. But Oakfield's going to be really solid. Dodgeland's, going to be solid. Hopefully, the goal is that we can finish in the top half of the league. But there's just a lot of good teams. We'll see how it goes,
Sure. Talk to me a little bit about your coaching staff this year.
Everyone's back this year. Coach Lancer in the second year. He'll be in charge of our defense this year and getting our new scheme to take. It was nice. It's nice for him to get that first year out of the way. And he's really, coming into his own now in the second year, and just more comfortable for him too. And Blake Harmson, he'll be our JV coach again. Love having Blake around. Young kid, relates to the kids very well, but a very sharp, intelligent coach, and he works them really hard, which is nice. And then Lauren Greenfield's back. I like having Lauren, because I'm the only old guy there, so Lauren really helps me out in that sense, but Lauren, he's a fiery guy. He wants what's best for the kids, and he'll help out in any way he can, which is awesome. And then Logan Grahn. This is my 10th year, and Logan's been there with me every year. It's 10 years for Logan too. I coached Logan when he was in high school, and it's been great having Logan there. We're very familiar with each other, and we know how to help each other out, and it's just great. It's second year again with this group, and it should really help us and the kids. Just things are going to flow really smoothly, and hopefully we can continue to build nice things here.
Talk a little bit about how important the school culture is, and the school community, and just the community in general at Central Wisconsin Christian is to the success of your program.
It's huge. That's why we coach. That's why I hope the kids play. We're representing our school. We're representing our community, and the school, the community is just unbelievable. I think it's unmatched. It's just the culture there, the environment at CWC is just fantastic. Very supportive of what you do. And, shockingly, I don't always do things correctly, but, it's always that, love and support, and, you always find that common ground, and it's always for the kids. And it's awesome at CWC.
My take on it so far over the last couple of years of calling games there, and then actually being in the building, is they show up. The crowd is there no matter what the game situation is going to be, and they're behind, whether it's the girls or the boys that are playing at home. Do you get that same impression?
Yeah, and that's part of the support, that I kind of mentioned. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. It's in my career at CWC. When we first started, we weren't very good, but we worked hard. And we always had a lot of people at the games. And then a couple of years ago, we're playing for that conference championship, and that gym was absolutely packed, and it was such a great environment. So fun to play in. I know the kids enjoyed it and loved it. And, we're just so thankful for that. Everyone coming out to watch us, support us. It's just a tremendous atmosphere that the fans create.
Coach, anything else that you would like to add here on the preseason coaches showcase?
No, just excited to get rolling here, get started. Another new season with some young men, and just like to see what we can do. It's we're picked in the upper half, and I think these guys want it, so we're gonna work hard and just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited about getting this season. It's a long season, November all the way through to March, so it kind of feels like it could drag. But I tell you, starting right after Christmas, everything just ramps up, and it just becomes continues to add more excitement. So I'm really excited about you guys hitting the hardwoods really soon.
Yeah, me too. The season, it's a long season, and it's funny. It goes in phases. You get going, and there's a lot of excitement, and there's things you want to do and accomplish. And then, after a while, it's just like, wow, we're only so far into the season. We have so much farther to go. And then all of a sudden it turns in like, holy cow, there's only a couple of weeks left and the season's almost over. So yeah, it's fun, roller coaster, and it's a fun ride to be on.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time tonight. And I also know that I can count on you to grab interviews, whether it's a couple days early or if it's 15 minutes before tip time. I want to thank you so much for doing that and adding to the quality of broadcast that we're able to put together. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. Definitely. I appreciate what you do and the support, for our team, and just look forward to seeing you throughout the year, and go Crusaders.
Go Crusaders. This has been the head coach here for Central Wisconsin Christian Crusaders, Josh Gibbons. We'll be back here on the showcase on Jeff's live stream in a few moments.
Years and counting, Verhaeg's Furniture has been proudly serving Waupun the best furniture and mattresses at prices you can afford. And we're honored to be voted best of the best mattress store and runner-up for best furniture store in the Fond du Lac area. Whether you're looking to update your living room, find the perfect mattresses, or treat yourself in one of our relaxing massage chairs, we've got it all to take care of you. Visit us at 806 West Main Street, Waupun, and experience quality, comfort, and service you can trust. Visit our website at www.verhaegsfurniture.com. Don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on our latest arrivals, events, and deals. Verhaeg's Furniture Mart, 50 years strong, quality you trust, prices you'll love.
When my husband passed, I needed direction on my finances. I felt like I was starting from a blank slate. Thrivent came into my life at a time that I really needed it. Thrivent helped me feel confident and create opportunities to be more giving. I think my husband would be very proud, but I'm proud of myself because I've educated myself, and I kind of learned that maybe I could have been doing this all along.
Jonathan Leonard, Thrivent Financial here in Waupun, serving the local communities. Thanks. God bless.
King Manufacturing. Since 1926, we have been known for our first-class buildings and canopies. In fact, there are thousands of them in use across America and in the Caribbean. We have also produced and developed many other steel products for use in retail, commercial, and industrial applications, such as building fascia, loading racks, wall panel systems, and much more. Our design record attests to our dedication to quality and customer satisfaction. King Manufacturing, from design to completion. PT.
Welcome back here to the preseason head coaches boys basketball showcase here. Joining me, or let's talk a little bit about Central Wisconsin Christian and the Trailways East. I did not have the WSN information when I did these interviews, but I was able to take a look at it, and CWC is predicted to be third in the conference ahead of Oshkosh Lourdes, and surprising to me, behind the Dodgeland team. Now, Dodgeland has struggled typically to put together a solid basketball program. At least I can remember from that when I was there as the principal that they had some great. We had some great teams there, but the Dodgeland, or sorry, some great kids there, but they just were unable to put some stuff together. And unfortunately, the best player that Dodgeland has is, and as a younger, transfers to Beaver Dam. So that's going to be a huge loss for the Dodgeland Trojans. But they're predicted to be second, and in first place in the Trailways East is Oakfield. But here's what we also know is that in those top three teams, again, and Lourdes always puts together a high quality product, but we know in those top three teams that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So we're going to stay right here in the Trailways East. The predicted champions of the East is supposed to be Oakfield. We had a chance to have an interview with head coach Jason Colleen. He did lose Weston Bass, Bailey Shep, and Hunter Sabo from last year's team, but he's got back Mitchell Mosier, who had a heck of a football season. Davis Dirks, Bo Biles both had, and Braden Glugla had some amazing season, and Brody Colleen also had a great basketball season last year, and they're all coming back. So they've got to have a pretty solid outlook on what they're going to do, and you're going to hear me talk about it. I call Bo Biles and Braden Glugla the Twin Towers from down underneath, watching them play football as tight ends and wide receivers. Man, they had some height on all of those DBs, and they had an amazing football season over there, and something is cooking over in the Oakfield community, and I've had a blast going over there and covering them. So let's have an interview here with head coach Jason Colleen, and then after that we will wrap things up with Waupun, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Here is the head coach for the Oakfield Mighty Oaks.
Welcome back here to the boys basketball coaches preseason showcase. Joining me now is the head coach for the Oakfield Mighty Oaks, Coach Jason Colleen. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I am excited about things that are going to be rolling here in Oakfield. I mean, I've felt like I've become a member of this community. I've loved the football program, the softball program, even the covering of the boys and girls basketball last year and the volleyball team. And it just has been, there's so much excitement that's taking place in Oakfield. So let's talk about the boys basketball team here a little bit. Tell me how things went in the off season as you're preparing for this season.
Things went pretty good in the off season. We have open gyms during the summertime. We were part of the Fond du Lac League at Fond du Lac High School. Pretty good participation. The kids, they play multiple sports. So it's always a juggle, just, if they're playing baseball or have commitments otherwise. In the summertime, the basketball is kind of on the side, but the guys get in there whenever they can. So I was happy overall with the way things went this summer.
So I share all the time that my knowledge about basketball and the teams is based on WSN, and sometimes they're pretty reliable and sometimes they're not. And I did not see anything yet posted for the Trailways East, but based on my recollection from last year, the Oakfield Mighty Oaks have got to be right there in contention for a conference championship. So talk to me about how you're preparing your team for this season right here. You've only got one practice in the books.
Yeah, we just got done with our first practice. I actually started out the practice by talking about goals for the team for the year. We won the conference 2 out of the last 3 years. So our goal is to win conference again this year. I would think that anybody that would try to do any kind of predictions would have us near the top. As always, there's injuries, there's different things that happen, and you got to play all the games. But definitely our team goal is to win the conference.
So talk to me about the conference. Who do you see as also are challenging you for that conference title?
It's hard to say. I know Dodgeland will have a bunch of returners. They're going to be pretty strong. Um, Horicon, I would think would be towards the top. CWC always plays hard. Coach Gibbons, he'll have those guys ready to go. A lot of these teams are going to have a lot of different looks. It's going to be a kind of thing where, once we all start playing and you can watch the other teams play, you're going to have a better feel for how you match up. But overall, I would think we'd be in the top 3.
Talk to me about you. We mentioned a little bit off air about you've got several players coming back who've got a pretty good experience on the varsity level. So what are you seeing as far as some of the leadership that's taking place there with your teammates or with the players on the team?
Well, our 2 senior returning starters, Mitchell Moser, Davis Dirks, those guys are all conference players. So we'll be leaning heavily on those guys to be our leaders, captains for the year. And then our junior class has a nice class. Bull Bile played a lot last year. Braden Glugla played a lot last year. Brody Colleen. So those guys are going to have to, step into the starting roles, step up to contribute a lot more this year.
Biles and Glugla sound very familiar to me. They look like the Twin Towers out there for football. It's got to feel great to have that kind of size inside for your basketball program.
Yeah, the height thing will be nice. I mean, Bo is I'd say 6'7", and he's going to be a tough matchup for anybody. Glugla and Dirks, they're kind of high flyers. So they're slashers. They can get above the rim. And then you have Brody Clean and Mitchell Moser, who are good guards, knockdown 3-point shooters.
Talk to me, Coach, about your coaching staff. Obviously, to have a strong competitive program, you have to have a solid staff. So talk to me about your staff.
Our staff will be the same as it was last year. Jason Maurer has been the JV coach for a while, since before I got involved in varsity program. And this is maybe my 9th year. This is my 4th year as head coach. And Maurer had been there before I got involved. Brandon Curtis is our JV2 coach. I believe this is his 2nd year. And my volunteer assistant coach is Stacy Wright. He's got a lot of knowledge for the game. Kids really like him. He's kind of the go-between. He's a good cop, I'm the bad cop type deal. So, yeah, it's nice because we're all on the same page, and we have that experience together. It helps us get through practice, prepare for games.
Talk to me about the students, the support that you have, the school support, and the community support. One of the things that is critical, obviously, in small schools is that you have to have all kinds of support all the way around, from the parents to booster clubs and everything else. And I definitely have felt it in my time covering you, but just touch on that a little bit here about how that contributes to the success.
Well, it helps out tremendously. I mean, the community support we have is awesome. It's been that way since I played back in high school. I mean, they really get behind you. People are always talking wherever you go, looking forward to the season. Everybody's pumped up. I can't wait for the season to get going. Asking me questions I haven't even thought about yet. They're excited. So there's definitely excitement anytime the season gets going in any sport, and it's the kind of thing where you get a lot of parents that maybe their kid isn't even playing that sport, but they'll come and support you. And we're just looking to have a full gym and really have a strong crowd behind us.
And when you definitely have that typically, and when you pack the house, it definitely gets a little rowdy in there. What we have to do, though, is we have to come up with a nickname for the gym. You got one off the top of your head?
Well, they call the student section the Nut House. So it's kind of, I guess that's already been in place. I guess it's the Nut House.
I love it, Coach. Anything else you'd like to add here on this showcase?
Just looking forward to the season. I'm excited as well as all the guys seem to be ready to go. It's just a matter of getting them in shape, getting ready for the season, putting in the stuff, and we're looking forward to the upcoming year. It's going to be a tough year. I mean, we have a very tough non-conference schedule. I think we only play a couple schools that are our division. And then that's intentional. We want to push these guys to make them better. And everybody's on board with that same goal.
Thank you for mentioning that. I forgot to mention about your non-conference schedule because I did take a look at it. You definitely are challenging yourselves with the goal to reach Madison, hopefully by the end of the season. And you certainly have put that together with your entire schedule. Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time to connect with us here on this showcase. We really have appreciated it. This has been the head coach here for the Oakfield Mighty Oaks, Jason Colleen. We'll be back here after these messages on Jeff's live stream.
Has been at 301 East Clark Street in Brandon for over 20 years. The owners, Tony and Pam Sauer, are dedicated to their community and their customers. They serve the auto repair, tire, and wheel needs of customers in Brandon and the rest of central Wisconsin. We're on call 24/7 for roadside assistance and on the farm service for customers. For auto repairs, tires, and wheels, come see us in person or request a quote online. PT Tire and Service, you make the call and leave the rest to us. Call 920-346-TIRE.
Welcome to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse. Here at Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, we are proud to provide South Central Wisconsin with the most beautiful flowers and freshest fruits and vegetables. In the fall, we have many varieties of squash and pumpkins, to just name a few. We are also proud to offer one-of-a-kind gifts like hanging baskets, iron hangers, decorative planters, and concrete statuary. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for more info and pictures. So come on out to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, located on Highway A between Fox Lake and Randolph, and you'll be glad you did.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
Born from a single project, WDS Construction has evolved into a nationwide general contractor and construction management company. But we're so much more than that. The cold storage industry is experiencing high demand and low capacity. WDS is building goodwill from the ground up through customized solutions. WDS is committed to outservice the competition and overdeliver for customers. A client-driven experience without question. Today, we're driven to be better in order to build better.
Welcome back here to the preseason head coaches showcase here for boys basketball. One more interview to go, but before we do that, let's just make sure that we finish up with Oakfield. And I want to talk about all of the coaches in general here. Again, I want to give them all a thanks, and you can hear some of the excitement and the enthusiasm. You can tell those who are experienced in giving interviews and having conversations and sharing a lot about their programs and their kids. I tried to ask very similar questions to everybody and tried to keep drawing out information and talking, but you're in for what I consider to be a real treat here in our final interview with the head coach of the Waupun Warriors. East Central Conference prediction here is that the Waupun Warriors are predicted to be the first place team in the conference, with numerous players coming back. And last year, I think they caught teams by surprise. At least they caught me certainly by surprise by finishing tied for first place in the conference with Plymouth. And This year, they're predicted to be the outright champs, with Kettle Moraine Lutheran being second, Plymouth in third, and then Kewaskum fourth in the conference. And again, Plymouth, KML, and Waupun on any given day, any of those teams definitely can beat each other. But you're going to hear from Coach Dunlap here and about the excitement that he has. And I think our interview went a little long, but it was okay because I enjoyed listening to him talking about his team. So let's hear from the head coach for the Waupun Warriors, Coach Dunlap.
Welcome back here to our preseason boys basketball show. Joining me now here is the head coach for the Waupun Warriors, Coach Alex Dunlap. Coach, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just can't wait to get the season rolling. You can only have so many open gyms before you start going crazy. So we're ready to roll.
It's always that transition time between the fall sports ending and that winter sport that really starts to ramp things up here, especially when you got such high expectations, sir. So first of all, talk to me a little bit about your team and how things have gone in the off season, and what are you seeing as far as the open gyms?
Yeah, so our offseason really started as soon as we lost to Lake Mills last year. That kind of left like a sour taste in our mouth. And we're not going to compare anything we do this year to last year because last year was really special. But our guys are kind of hungry. I think the best thing that ever happened to us was Aiden Hawkinson didn't win Player of the Year in our conference, which I thought he was the best player, and I might be a little biased. But he's been a workout freak. He'd sleep over in the gym if I let him. But yeah, our guys do a really good job. We have a bunch of multi-sport athletes, so where they play baseball and they play football. But we really operate at a different level. I care about them being great basketball players, but I really want to make them better athletes. So throughout the summertime, you'll see our student athletes. We work out at 7 a.m. Monday through Thursday. We hit the weights and we do some agility until about 8:15, 8:30, and then the guys will either go get a rest or they'll hit their summer jobs. And then we'll have either open gyms. And our program really was challenged this year. We were down at Arrowhead High School for our summer league, and then we were down at Germantown High School. So we were playing a bunch of really big schools and really talented programs, which I really like. We're battle tested and ready to go. And then this fall, we were able to go down to Brookfield Central and play in a fall league every Sunday. So we're really going to hit the ground running. And we got guys that are kind of salivating at the opportunity right now because there's a lot of excitement around Waupun basketball right now. And yeah, I just next Monday's our first day of practice, so I can't wait to see where the boys are at. I kind of already know where they're at, but I can't wait for the first day of practice.
To be the official first day of WIAA practice to actually get things rolling in the gym. So talk to me a little bit about, you talked about Aiden, talk to me about some of the other players that you have on your team and what some expectations you have for them.
Yeah, so I think one of the more special things we have growing here in Waupun is last year we had 4 seniors in Isaac Vandekamp, Zeke Ewert, Rylan Bruins, and Colin Camphouse, and we'll miss them from a basketball perspective, but if you would have seen our day-to-day practices, our locker room atmosphere, kind of our culture, we have a very loving and caring environment here, and I don't think that we'll have a year in the near to distant future where we have 3 or 4 seniors. This year we have 7 seniors, and we have, I believe, 11 returning varsity athletes, which is great. And it's kind of be the gift that keeps on giving. Like playing time, just because you're a junior or senior and you're eligible to be a varsity athlete, you need to be the best player on the floor, and you need to compete at an ultra high level. And this year we'll lose 7 seniors. Jake Krieger is a captain again. Landon Richter's a captain again. So we have 3 senior captains. All 3 of them were captains last year as well. But Jake Krieger and Aiden Hawkinson, they'll be 4-year varsity players. And you don't see that a whole lot around any sports. You'd have to be a pretty special athlete to be able to do that for all 4 years. But Jake Krieger's hit the weight room so hard. He's a heck of a baseball player too. I think he threw a no-hitter
Yes.
in Legion Ball, but a fantastic leader. Same for Landon Richter. We open up the gym at 6:30 every single morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I think Landon Richter has been at every single one of them. And there's a bunch of guys that show up too, but we have great leadership. And I think that when you are a player-led team, it doesn't matter what I say. When the players are bought in like what we have, it's really special. Bryant Ferris is a very athletic guard, where we're able to, because we have Landon Richter and because we have Bryant Ferris, we're able to play the entire length of the floor. And as soon as you need a break, there's another guy coming in like Graham Gopalin and Efren Guardiola, who's a state cross country runner. And then our other seniors, we have Braden Torres, who is a freak athlete who I think led the state in interceptions this year for football. The cool part that I could almost like cry over is Landon Potratz is a big part of our program, and he played both ways football. He's a captain for the football team, but what people don't know is Landon Potratz played the entire second half of the season with a torn meniscus and a bone bruise. And for seniors, like the end is near, and you may never have that opportunity to play with your teammates again. And he just leaves it all on the line. And then Caden Gillenkirk is the epitome of like a glue guy. He does everything the right way. He's always in the weight room. And I tell you what, him being friends with Aiden Hawkinson has made him such a better basketball player, because if Aiden's sleeping over in the gym, KG's a byproduct of being a great rebounder and getting a lot of shots in, and he's done a great job at making the most of his opportunity in this summer when baseball guys were gone, and this fall when football guys were gone. So, and those are just our seniors. So then we go into our juniors with Graham Gopalin, who's going to be a stud this year, Logan Prawl, who's another baseball, football, basketball athlete who's a stud. Gage Stelsel he's 6'4", 6'5". He was a guy that could have played a lot of minutes last year at the varsity level, but that just wasn't his role. He was a sophomore, and I don't know how we could have fit him in, because if he would have played minutes, then who's not playing minutes? But Gage did an awesome job in his role. We played against Kewaskum, and they had to inbound the ball full court. We put him in for 6 or 7 seconds, and he got a huge deflection. Like that single-handedly, like not in the box score, but that won us the game because they had to take a contested jump shot with less than a second and a half. Refresh, Emmett Hull, another guy that went out for football a little late, stud baseball player. He competes at just an ultra high level. Behind Hawk, he might be the best shooter in our program. Shooting drills between Logan Prawl, Hawk, and Refresh are impressive, because I don't even know if the ball touches the net sometimes. And this isn't a slight at Isaac Vandekamp, but I think Refresh is a more athletic, better shooting, better defending version of a guy who was a senior captain last year, who was all conference. So if we lose a guy that was an all conference captain and we potentially get better, we're in a really good spot. And then Jordan Matashek, he's one heck of a defender and a really good soccer player as well. And then Sawyer Bruins, he's a football player too. So we got a couple diamonds in the rough too. And Owen Kloosterboer, who was able to get on the football field a little bit at the end, but he got in the mix this fall and this summer. And he's a man child. He doesn't look like a 14 or 15-year-old freshman. So he fits right in. He'll be shooting up with some varsity for us, but he'll probably get a lot of JV minutes similar to Gage last year. And then Finn Katzenberg he's a culture builder and a culture sustainer, because he's a sophomore that he'd probably be a really important role player for a lot of teams in our conference as a sophomore. But we don't rebuild here in Waupun, we reload, and he's a special player. So I don't know, we got a really good thing with our culture right now. And when iron sharpens iron, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I'm very privileged to be the coach here. So.
Coach, I can tell the excitement that you've got going on here, bouncing around even. I know you cannot wait to hit the court with these boys. And it's so great to hear that all of that excitement. So that's absolutely awesome.
we might be the hardest working program in the entire state. I demand a lot out of these guys, and they continuously just answer the bell. And I just always reflect. I go, what gives me the right to be these guys' coaches? And I reflect daily on that. And I just want to make sure that I get their respect. And we got a group that I think respects the heck out of me. And I love these guys. And I think you're able to see that with the product we put out on the floor.
So talk to me a little bit about Coach. Last year, again, we kind of opened up with it. You caught people by surprise, I think, tying in first in the conference. I believe it was 10-2, tied with Plymouth, but that no longer is the case. WSN, and again, I am not a guru for basketball, and I don't know where WSN gets all of their data and stuff. I can hear it in your voice, obviously, which has me convinced now, but
right.
They've got you right up there again, tied for conference champs. That puts a different target on your back. Talk to me about how you're handling that.
Yeah, I'd say yes and no. I tell our guys, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. We look at preseason rankings as like an external factor. We don't let any external factor affect the product that we put out on the floor. Last year, we may have shocked people on the outside. We knew on the inside that every time we took the floor, we had the best player in Aiden Hawkinson. He might be the most under-recruited guy in the state of Wisconsin, by the way. He's a freak. But we're not the Aiden Hawkinson show either. We have so many guys, and I tell you what, I think the worst thing that could have happened, not only just him not getting player of the year, but Aiden got first team last year, and Isaac, Logan, and Jake Krieger from a conference championship winning team, they were honorable mention. I think Logan Prawl is closer to a first team selection than honorable mention, and the same with Isaac Vandekamp last year. Like, if you would have watched him, he lit the world on fire down the stretch. But I don't know, like we know the work that we put in. I'm not shocked by any of the success that we had. But like you said, like maybe people put us on the schedule last year because they thought that they were going to get a rookie coach that doesn't know what he's talking about, that young team that hasn't had a lot of success. I think they maybe had 2 or 3 conference wins over the last 2 years before I took over. But we don't, comparison is just a thief of joy. So we're not going to compare anything that we had last year, the success that we had. We have a totally new nucleus that is going to go through different objectives this year. But to the outside, people say like, "Oh, do you feel pressure? Do you?" No, like I don't feel that at all, because we just have guys that want to compete at the highest level. And towards the end of last year, the only team that could beat us is us. So that's the same thing this year. The only team that's going to beat us is us. We got to control our locker room. We got to control what we do. The little things are going to be big things for a team like us. And we are going to hit every team right in the face. They're going to know us, and welcome to the party, because here we are. And I can't wait. Like I'm itching right now, and like we have a really tough non-conference schedule too to prepare us for some big games. And like I said, you just don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And we know the work that we put in. We're not lying to ourselves, and we believe that we're the best program in the state of Wisconsin, and we're going to go prove that night in and night out. And I can't wait.
Talk to me a little bit about your coaching staff. Obviously, you've got great players. You've talked about the leadership that you've got from players there, but you always have to have some strong adults besides yourself that are helping on the bench and helping work with these kids. So give some props to your coaching staff.
Yeah, I'll say this. If Kyle Billy's our assistant coach. I think if Kyle Billy ran for mayor in Waupun, I think he might get a couple votes or so. Kyle Billy he means the world to me. We got hired the same year. I've been teaching here in Waupun for about 6 years. We got hired in 2019, 2020. I was the JV coach. He was the JV2 coach. And whether we had like the new teacher in service, we had the early days, because JV and JV2 might combine practice some days. I have nothing but respect for Kyle Billy, and he had so much success with what we had last year. I think having someone that you trust with your life, it just means the world. Our kids love Mr. Billy. Mr. Billy, if we were the same age, we would have been great friends growing up, and we're great friends right now. So, me being in my little dungeon of a Phi Ed locker room, I try to get out into the social studies pod and kind of exchange notes with Kyle, and I see Tim Alsma all the time too, so I'm able to exchange notes with him. But I can't say enough good things about Kyle Billy. If people were able to see the amount of work that Kyle does behind the scenes for us, it's certainly not just a one-man show with me over here. Kyle has so much of an impact on our kids, and I think a diamond in the rough. We have Bob Mengert. He was our JV coach, and as soon as we hired a social studies teacher last year, I gave him a call right away. Never met him in person, and it was the most hyper genuine conversation I had in a while. And sometimes those things, when you meet people in person, you're like, oh, like what did I get into? But Bob's almost like a father figure to both me and Kyle. He has a military background, and he does a great job with our JV guys. And one of the reasons the guys that we have now on the varsity roster are going to hit the ground running is he believes in discipline. He believes in all the things that we preach, and having a guy at the JV level that is able to preach not only what you want from a basketball perspective, but from the characteristics, from the things that you want from your kids to have. I can't say enough good things about Bob Mengert. And then Isaac Vandekamp's going to be an electrician. He's going to be an assistant coach for us. He said, Coach, I'll be at every practice I can. I'll be at every game I can. I just really want to help and be a part of something special again. And that's part of giving back. And whether I get fired this year or I'm here for 10 years or 20 years, hopefully we have more former players that are able to get on the coaching staff that want to give back. And maybe I'm able to coach like their kids some days. Hopefully after I get invited to their wedding. But no, we have such a great thing going on here at Waupun, and I know we're in year 2 right now, but I just think our culture is shaping into what I want it to be, and it's going to be even greater this year.
Talk to me about then the support that you've got coming here from the school and the community, because I've seen that shift taking place as well over my 20 plus years that I have been here. So just talk to me a little bit about the support and from both the school and the community that you're feeling.
Yeah, I'd say, I blame my wife. My wife's the problem, and that she's the reason why I'm the Waupun basketball coach. My wife was an English teacher here, I think a year or two before I graduated college. So when I applied here, I wanted to be in the same district as my wife. She has since gone to the dark side, if you will. She's teaching over in Rosendale. So I didn't really get to see her throughout the day anyway, but we just had our first child in January.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thankfully she looks more like her mom than me, so that's a true blessing. But she's not working this year. She's a stay-at-home mom. But without having Melissa at home taking care of everything up from the home front, this just isn't possible. The goals and everything that we have aren't possible without Coach Dunlap at home. So when I get home, I'm sure to be dialed in and take Harper off Melissa's hand. But I can't say how much support that she gives me and our entire team. But from the community, I tell you what, I don't know if people always love Waupun basketball. It's the same from the football team. You saw the football team. I've been here for 5 or 6 years, and there hasn't been a lot of success. But on Friday nights, the town of Waupun shows out for their team, and they really support their guys. And at the beginning of last year, they came to our games, and I'm not going to say Waupun jumped on our bandwagon, but towards the end, every game was like a playoff game. Every game was like a playoff atmosphere. And I think that they understood where I'm coming from. They understand where our kids are coming from. And when you have great kids like we have, they're just really easy to root for and get behind. We were able to do some cool stuff this year. We met Mayor Ron out at the city hall, and we were able to run the steps like Rocky Balboa would a praise. And I know they're not going to be able to see this, but I got a huge Rocky Balboa 6-foot cutout in here. A lot of things that we compare to, it's like a fighter's mentality. And I think that when you start to embody your city, good things happen. Your city respects you, and your team starts to kind of what it's all about. Waupun's farm town, prison town. We really want to reflect everything that is Waupun. And they've just done nothing but support from day one. I've had no issues with our parents. Our parents are awesome. And can you say that you don't have a lot of parent issues when like you're winning games? Sure, that's fine. But I hold our kids to a pretty high standard, and I'm overly honest with all our kids in their role, and they buy into their role. And that just means they have some really, really good parents at home that are instilling the values that we want as a basketball program. But it doesn't just start with me; it starts at the home. And I can't begin to say thank you to the town of Waupun for not only trusting their kids with a 30-year-old coach like me, but they do a great job both supporting us as a school district and a basketball team.
Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time and sharing all of your enthusiasm and excitement. If I had any athletic ability to play basketball, I'd probably be grabbing a ball right now and be heading over to the gym and wanting to shoot with you based on all of the excitement. I can't. That's not me. So, but again,
hey, if you want to play hard, Waupun basketball's got a spot for you. So that's what we're about.
Well, I appreciate that offer, but thanks again. Anything else that you'd like to add here on the show?
Yeah, I'll just say this: like a lot of people get wrapped up in like the articles of preseason. Both like we know who we are. There's a really bad taste in our mouth. We wanted a conference championship outright last year. And this is, I don't know if you knew this is the last year of the East Central Conference.
Yep.
We want to leave no doubt. We want to leave no doubt. We want to get this last conference championship. That's our number one goal. We then will win a regional because we'll be able to host a regional. I think if that game that we played at Lake Mills was at home, would the results have been the same? I think making 16 or 17 threes, however many they made, you do that in any gym, but that's a byproduct of their hard work. But if we're able to host a regional final, that'd be huge. Get to a sectional, and then we talk about Madison all the time, but it's truly step by step here. There's blood in the water, and we're going for the ECC championship this year. So if Waupun was a stock, I'd buy now while you can and buy as much as you can, because here's your warning shot. Here we come.
Coach Alex Dunlap here, head coach for the Waupun Warriors. Thanks for joining us here on this preseason show. Really looking forward to seeing what you're able to put up there and throughout the entire season. It's been Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's Livestream. We'll be back after these messages here on Jeff's Livestream.
For 50 years and counting, Verhaeg's Furniture has been proudly serving Waupun the best furniture and mattresses at prices you can afford. And we're honored to be voted best of the best mattress store in the Fond du Lac area. Stop in and check out our mattress selections. We have all kinds from traditional spring to memory foam. It is our mission to help you get a great night of sleep night after night. Visit us at 806 West Main Street, Waupun, and experience quality, comfort, and service you can trust. Visit our website at www.verhaegsfurniture.com. Verhaeg's Furniture Mart. 50 years strong, quality you trust, and prices you'll love. Verhaeg Furniture.
Sam's Well Drilling is a family-owned business with over 75 years in the water well drilling industry. We can help you with all of your well drilling needs. Our crews are experienced at finding the proper location, setting up the rigs and equipment in all types of circumstances, and drilling to the appropriate depth so that you have fresh, clean water. Sam's also drills wells for commercial and municipal projects. No project is too large or small for Sam's Well Drilling. We at Sam's are thankful to be involved in supplying the well water needs of people all over the Midwest. Sam's Well Drilling, well worth it.
We've always been a family that thinks about spend, save, give. It was refreshing to find a financial company that echoed that mentality.
With Thrivent, it's more than just about gaining financial confidence. It's about how you can use your resources to create change in your community. It's been a relationship that's created a whole exponential amount of good.
This is Jonathan Leonard, serving the area communities and supporting the local teams. Good luck this season.
God bless.
Welcome back here to the preseason coaches showcase. If you're not fired up to go out there and play some basketball after listening to Coach Alex Dunlap, I don't know what it would take, but It was a great interview. I had a blast. I was laughing the whole time, and I really appreciate it. But I want to send my appreciation to all coaches. Thank you for the amount of time that you took, every one of you in the conversation. What was recorded and the conversation we had wasn't the full thing. We had conversation off air. I could hear the excitement. I could feel the excitement. And I believe that every one of your communities, your teams are very fortunate to have you as coaches, and I hope that the schools and the communities appreciate everything that you do. I've spent 25 plus years as a coach in numerous sports, and I don't think people realize how much time you put in. I also want to give a shout out quick. I doubt that any of them are listening, but maybe they are, to the girls basketball coaches for the time that they took to do the preseason girls basketball showcase, and then to the hockey coaches as well for that hockey coach showcase that we had. Really enjoyed our conversations. And I hope that you will stay with us and follow us throughout the entire year. I didn't put it on here, but please subscribe to our channel. We have over, if I recall correctly when I was trying to calculate, we have over 125 events that we are broadcasting this winter. And I can't do it without a couple of people to make sure that I give a shout out to. I mean, you've heard from our sponsors, and I'll give them some more love towards the end here. But first of all, I got to give out a shout out to my wife for allowing me to pursue my passion. And officially I'm retired, so any money that I'm spending is out of my retirement fund. So I appreciate the fact that she has allowed me to do so. I also have to give a shout out to my son. He's the one that's in the background here typing all of the stuff away and giving responses back. And I'll address Aaron's question before I close out here. But again, I have to give a shout out to him as well for his help and support. And I know that when I am in a tight pinch, that I can count on him to help run a camera. So I'm so blessed to have him back living here in the household and to have him helping me pursue my passion here. I also got to give a shout out to Justin Schwartzmiller. Thank you to him for jumping on board and being one of my other producers. I really thank him 100% for everything he's done. And then finally to all of my sponsors. You can see them here on my background. Again, all of them. I cannot do this without them. I still need more sponsors. I really could. I mean, you just heard me talk about 125 plus events that we are planning to broadcast. We already started the girls' season. We go tomorrow and we start with hockey. And then basketball starts up right away. I believe we might even have a game over this Thanksgiving break that we have scheduled. And I can't do it also without some of the student helpers that I have. So when you are sponsoring us, I do not take a salary from this. This is my passion. I enjoy it. I give the money to all of the other workers for their time that they put in with me and training the next generation hopefully of live streamers and podcasters and broadcasters and finding their niche in this world as they continue to go. And all glory to God, his blessing that he has given to me to be able to do this. I am so humbled every single time that I think about quitting because of conflict that comes up, or I'm not sure that I have enough money coming in to actually cover all the broadcasts that I promised that I would cover. I've been blessed, and he continues to bless me. And every one of our broadcasts, we've been very fortunate to also have all of our athletes and everybody being safe, which definitely makes it an enjoyable experience as well. So thank you to my God for continuing to bless me. I hope that you've enjoyed our broadcast here. I really haven't enjoyed putting this stuff together. And to answer Aaron's question, do I have a lot of people who confuse me with Jeff Sauer, the hockey coach? Yep, I have. A lot of them ask me. And the first thing I tell them, I hope I'm not him because he happens to have passed away. I wish I had any part of his legacy except for his name, and I do not. And I don't have a hockey skating bone in my body. I love the sport. I was very fortunate that my son Caleb got heavily involved in it and played all the way through his experience. He aged out in juniors and played in college, and we've met so many huge families, but nope, I am not related, but I do have a lot of people who have asked me about that connection there. So Aaron, there's your answer. And I do thank, again, everybody for joining us here. Get on and subscribe because, again, we are going to start tomorrow. We've got 2 hockey broadcasts that we are going to bring. We were going to bring a basketball as well, but I just don't have the producers right now at this time. I'm still working on the training, and as soon as I get that third producer trained, we will be running almost 3 broadcasts every night, except for, CWC and the Trailways East. At least at CWC, I should say, they have a lot of doubleheaders. So there's a lot of times where we're going to be over there doing boys and girls, and we've got a hockey game. Sometimes there's the doubleheader hockey with Springs and Fond du Lac. So there's 4 broadcasts right there with 2 producers, and we'll have another one that'll be there with our third producer. So we'll have 5 broadcasts in a single evening, and we just love high school sports and bringing this to you and sharing the passion of our community. So I'm going to end with my ad, and if you feel like you have an interest in being a sponsor, and if you don't want to have a business and you don't want to be a sponsor but you'd love to make a donation, still reach out to me. I'd be glad to talk to you about how I can recognize you for doing that. I really appreciate everything you've done for following us here. Again, thank you, Caleb, for putting stuff in the chat. I've appreciated all the time of all the coaches, and I'm ready to roll. Here we go. Take care. God bless. And I can't wait to see you at a court or a rink or a whatever nearby as we bring you all of these events. Take care.
Live stream. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast. Our purpose, first and foremost, is to bring glory to God. Second is to draw attention to the student athletes, promote the great things they and their schools are doing, and promote the businesses and the people running them within our communities. Our mission is to create memories for student athletes, families, teams, and communities, as well as allowing for viewers to see their athletes or teams perform regardless of where the viewer is located. If you'd like to join us as a sponsor to help us fulfill our purpose and mission, feel free to give me a call at 920-345-2066 or email me at livestreamjeff@gmail.com. I'd love to talk.